Oh my gosh, I need to tell you all something. My cat Midna just jumped into a box and then the box fell over. It was the cutest thing ever. Anyway, hello, I'm Milo. Welcome to the stream. So last time I played some recently created Commodore 64 homebrew games, and today I'm doing the same for the ZX Spectrum, based on a suggestion by Bobinator from the Hardcore Gaming 101 community, or staff, really. Just getting myself set up here. Gibbon's here, and she was appreciative of the cat anecdote. Good-o. Right, so I'm going to be playing a few games today. I'll show you a little bit about them in the browser window before I start playing them. In this case, yeah, Spectral Interlude is a Castlevania fan game made by a team called Rewind in Russia. And yeah, it looks pretty interesting. It was made in 2015. Hold on, I don't actually have my notes up. I had to start the stream immediately so I could tell you all about the cat thing. Okay, yes. So it started as a demake of Castlevania 2, but it evolved into an original game. And the website they've got for it is very well done, very well set up. You can get it in a variety of languages and different formats. It's available in Spanish, Italian, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, and English. And the whole OST is up there. And here's the credits. Hey Bob, how's it going? Okay, Gibbon, no worries. Get your sleep when you need to. Yeah, so on Bobinator's suggestion, I am playing Spectral Interlude, the Castlevania fan game. So let's jump into it. Stop tape and press any key. I'll show you the window. Very important to remember to do this. Here we go. So I am using RetroArch still. It's convenient for me, even though I'd rather not. But yeah, I'm using the Fuse core in it. It gives me save state natively, which is the most useful thing that I want it for. Sorry, just adjusting the volume. That looks good. Let me know if there's any, audio things I should balance, make it quieter. All right. So, yeah, this is a pretty interesting game. Let's read the plot summary. Okay, yeah. And it might be a little bit loud. Just turn it down a little bit. You always get some traffic noise here because my house is pretty close to a road. Anyway, the 19th century, several decades passed since the glorious day when Alucard saved Richter Belmont and averted the resurrection of Dracula. The world got its long-awaited rest. With disappearance of the Master of Darkness, the activity of ungodly monsters calmed down, even around his now destroyed castle. But when you belong to a clan that exists for the sole purpose of fighting against the evil, peaceful time may be much more dangerous experience for you than battles with the most fierce creatures. That simple truth was to be learnt personally by the son of Richter, Simon Belmont, called so in honor of his hero ancestor. Year after year, he spent his time on fruitless training, slowly losing hope to accomplish anything important in his life. Something bigger than pacifying a pack of skeletons awakened on a local graveyard for some unknown reason. Yet this was exactly what he had to do on this fateful day, and so Simon reluctantly went to the graveyard, unaware that he stepped on a path that will change not only his life, but the future of the whole Belmont clan as well. So this game is set in the 1800s, during the time period when, according to other Castlevania games we know in the official timeline, the Belmont clan had sort of disappeared and all these other organizations sprung up to combat the forces of darkness. That's part of the point of this game, is to tell the story of that intervening era and why the Belmonts were absent. The use of Simon Belmont name is interesting because it's not the first thing to do that. I'll talk more about that later. Let's just get into the game first. So, yeah, the Metroidvania style. There's the credits of the people involved. Of course, the Metroidvania style is sort of taking after what was set up in Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, I think. The first sequel, which experimented with the format. Anyway, there's a lot of chat in this game. I've just played the first couple of minutes, and this text box is extremely long. We'll read this first one, but after this, I might skip text. Okay, so here's Boldo. Will you look at that? Mr. Belmont himself. Aren't you afraid alone at the graveyard? Be careful not to stumble against your own whip and break your neck. How would we live without the one and only protector against Dracula? Oh, I forgot. Dracula isn't going to wake up for another 50 years. Sarcastic guy. Very funny, Boldo. Oh, no offense. I just hate you. I know the feeling. So even you understand how unpleasant it is to meet you. But let's talk about something less depressing. Today's your lucky day. One of the soldiers is terminally ill? Haha, no. Today you have a chance to become a less useless member of society. We've got new orders. Although evil creatures are much less frequent than they were during dark years, they are still attacking peaceful citizens. Therefore, now soldiers will be rewarded for killing said monsters and delivering the proofs. Let me guess, you want me to deal with that in your name? Kill monsters, cut off their wings, legs and tails and bring them to you, and you'll get both cash and glory without even moving your little finger. You are smarter than you look. Why should I struggle with evil when we have a proper and jobless descendant from a bloodline of monster hunters? Go on, prove that blood of Belmont is still worth something, and I'll deal with something more useful, like keeping order here and there, or nose picking. I'll even let you borrow a special artifact given to soldiers, Eye of Rewards. It monitors and rewards our actions. To be honest though, it's not perfect. The view becomes blurred fast, and the results are wrongly evaluated. They pay us missing gold later, but you shouldn't care about that. What you'll get will be enough for you. So, is it a deal? I'll think about it, but give me your toy just in case. What is there to think? Oh well, just get lost and don't try to waste the time of a soldier on duty. Don't give me a reason to send you to jail. What a jerk. Alright, let's go left. Alright, flip screen stuff. That is classic Spectrum. Now look at this. They've, clearly based this on the NES games, particularly the second one, Simon's Quest. But we knew that because this game originally started as a demake for the Spectrum of Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. But during development, they decided they would prefer to actually make a new original story. So while all the sprites are very familiar, the events are new. There's going to be some other new stuff too. And particularly level design as well. This game boasts 150 rooms, including secret bonus rooms. Let me see. Some of the other features that were listed on the website were 10 different enemy types, including bosses. Alright. What else? 12 different songs on the soundtrack. Ouch. Must attack lamps, of course. Lanterns. Oh, who's this? Joseph. Okay. Oh, a necromancer. Okay. We're gonna make him answer for his crimes. What? He's not gonna oppose me. No, we have little time. Just kill me and I'll explain everything. He's not any stronger than skeletons. Go on. Okay. Whoa. Flash. Yeah, I didn't know that would happen, but watch out for screen flashing, apparently. If you have photosensitivity issues. Alright. He claims to not be a necromancer. So his soul has been locked in a magic artifact. And it absorbs the souls of other creatures. Okay. He's going to be my ally in my demon hunting. So I'm going to trap the souls of the monsters in the gem rather than letting them return again from hell. A beacon. Points of power. Okay. This is so long-winded. Oh, okay. I see what this is setting up. Yeah. We're going to summon Dracula himself to then destroy him. And then trap him in the gem, so he won't be able to reincarnate, I guess. So that's our goal in this game. That's basically the plot of the Doom Eternal DLC, I think. Okay, summoning and killing powerful monsters to collect their energy first. Okay, so that's the plot. That's what we're doing. And yeah, as Given says, obviously they've put a lot of polish into this, to be sure. It plays very well. You know, Spectrum games, sometimes they can have an opportunity, they can have a reputation for being, you know, a bit janky and clumsy, but yeah, this is very smooth. Oh, okay, a bit of a hint to not go that way, because it's a bit beyond our abilities right now. So we're being led back to town first. I'll make this jump eventually. There we go. Gotta go from the far right pixel of that platform. Yeah. Oh wow, you even have air control. That's cool. That is unlike the NES games, usually. Yeah, these screens are all quite flat. Hopefully that changes during the game. We did see, you know, those platforms over water to the left that I was warned not to go to, so there will be some more complex geometry. But yeah, just these flat planes with enemies is not that interesting. But at least we can appreciate the technical impressiveness of this running on a Spectrum. Using the different palettes to make the landscape like that, even though it overwrites parts of your sprite, but that's just a complication. Small price to pay, really. Okay, read the sign first. Good traveler, you've come to the town of Fetra. You'll find the graveyard to the west and the Black Forest to the east. Visit the temple and pray for salvation of your soul. Oh, well. Okay, I don't know how to go in. Maybe that door is locked. Okay, this one's definitely open. There we go. Beautiful statue. Oh, listen to this. This is a recreation of a classic tune. I don't know any of the names of songs from Castlevania by hearing them, but okay, what's this about? Oh yeah, this is all over Castlevania 2, paying people to get new items, but I definitely don't have enough gold for it. Okay, crouch and you got healed. Easy. Yeah. I want to go over there and read that sign, but this is an automatic stair that I just have to climb, apparently. Oh, well. How rude. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if I said already in this stream, I'll be playing this particular game for most of it. And then I've got a bunch of other Spectrum homebrews to rush through when I get bored of this. Because this is fairly long. A walkthrough video that I saw was 2.5 hours long. And they know what they're doing. I don't, and I'm, you know, gonna take longer. A speedrun, I think, goes only about half an hour. Perhaps. Anyway, this is Richter, our father. Oh, so you're back. How is the business on the graveyard? You won't believe me, father, but monsters are getting more and more numerous in my whip. Again, Simon, I told you already. If your whip isn't good enough for you, go to Vedoma. Ask her to sell you some weapons that feed on spiritual energy and finally learn to use the strength of your heart while fighting with monsters. It's high time, and Vampire Killer wasn't created for showing off, but only for fighting against Dracula, so you don't need it now. What can I do to make you entrust our family relic to your son, Father? Nothing special. You just need to have a lot of patience and wait until your old man surrenders to death. And the other option? This damned weapon is not a toy and should be used only in extreme necessity. What can make me forget about it and just give it to you? I don't know. Maybe if a heavy bag with 10,000 gold coins hits my head. Or if chickens learn to fly in flying carpets. Yes, something like this could change things, I guess. I forgot about your famous sarcasm. Well, I guess this discussion is over. Yikes. I won't even be able to get 10,000 coins. My counter's going to max out at 9999, it seems. Oh, great. No instant death. I just lost a bit of health. But I did make a save state. Wait, what? Reverse. Thank goodness. Something went wrong with my controller setup there. Is it? Oh, it's the dang R button on my Xbox One controller. Getting dodgy again. I'm sick of that. I thought I'd fix that with a bit of compressed air. Apparently not. Oh well, just have to press it a few times until I see the notification pop up. Oh, somebody who actually wants to talk to me. So... Okay. Wait. Oh, magic map, okay. Yes. Ugh, everyone is so mercenary. I need a lot more money. And I guess that means some grinding is gonna be in store. Perhaps these will give me more? No! The Wolfman, still only 1 gold. Oh, listen to that, that's great. Ah, the big money bag gives me more there. So that'll be my first priority. Grab the magic map. Even the bag's only 5 though. Look at that animation though. Isn't that cool? Underwater. Beautiful. And this is all running on a Spectrum. I'm doing this in Spectrum emulator. They do say that, you know, it's exclusive to the 128K model, so the highest tier of Spectrum is needed to run it. Okay, so I lost something by dying there. Is it just like a save point? Well, I guess we can test that out. We'll head back and heal at the church. Luckily the whip's quite fast. Overall, this Simon Belmont feels a bit more nimble than any Simon Belmont on the NES, or Trevor, for that matter. What with the air control and such. And I'm pretty sure the attacking animation is faster, but I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with the NES games. Never bothered with them much. So even if this was a remake of Castlevania 2, it would be new to me still. Gosh, I'm dropping so many frames. Let's try going over to that watery area with the platforms and see if we can get up there now. This is indeed a Metroidvania. Castlevania 2 did have a kind of open structure to it, but of course this is made in 2015 after many other iterations and advancements on that subgenre have been made, so for all I know it could be a lot more advanced than Castlevania 2 ever was, but that remains to be seen. We don't even have the map yet, so I can't look at it. It does seem similar to Castlevania 2 in structure from what I know of it. Just sort of left to right, fairly simple. There's branching paths, but there's not despite that, there's not a whole lot of verticality to it, I think. This is just from what I've seen. Yeah, I haven't played Castlevania 2, but I have read the book. The, like, junior novelization, Worlds of Power, or whatever it was. Still only one coin. Oh no, Midna! Don't walk on the keyboard! Okay, thank you. That was, another little cat problem. Not a problem. Luckily she didn't cause too much damage. I love you, Midna. She stepped on the rewind key is what happened there. Whoops. Let's just load state. I'm gonna like super save scum just so I don't have to backtrack to recover my lost health. Whoops. I'm noticing a little bit of slowdown sometimes. Maybe when there's a lot happening on screen. Like when those two mermen popped up. So yeah, if I wait for that one to go past, then I can jump down here and crouch. Cool, cool, cool. Minda wants to play. If she wanted to play, she would be yelling at me. She's just kind of roaming around investigating right now. What she likes to do is sit by the front door and then start meowing really loudly, and that's when she wants attention from you. Oops. Well, how do I attack those? I know you can get sub-weapons later on. With, yeah, if I have to do 3 hits on these guys, I just... Oh, yeah, they immediately knock you off. No, Midna, not on the keyboard, please. She's just stepped on the pause button with her back paw. Excuse me. Thank you. Oh, no, not that one. You know what? I'm going to put this keyboard away because I don't need it. If you're walking past, go ahead. There you go. You could even sit right here if you want. Okay, let's go back to the forest, I guess. Yeah, I actually got a new toy for her out just now. It's one I bought a while ago for her birthday, but hadn't given to her yet because there was like a backlog of toys that... Anyway, this new toy is like a little roll with string wound around it so she could get her claws in and bite it and stuff. And on the end are feathers, which is great. So I rolled it around a bit, she chased it a bit, but mostly what she wants to do is wash the feathers. This is one of her favorite things to do, is grab a feather and start licking it. And by the time she's done, it looks very ragged indeed. Well, the grind is slow. This is the same way that Castlevania 2 is, in that you gather a lot of energy and spend a lot of money on extra items and stuff. But yeah, the drop rate seems really low. I don't know. I'm not very happy about this. Bob, is this what the game is supposed to be like? You recommended it so highly, but it's very slow start. But I guess it's just mimicking the existing game, I guess. I guess. Let me see. Talked about, yeah, there's a normal and a hard mode. There's a map that we haven't seen yet because we can't afford it. Okay, I managed to bypass the stairs. And now we're with Aunt Vodoma. Yes. Oh, the situation has changed. Okay. Oh, here we go. So here we'll get our sub-weapons. I don't like the dagger, but it's all I can afford right now. And that might help me get past the fishman on the left. Although, if it... They were slightly lower than me. If it works the way it usually does, it's going to pass right over their heads. Holy Water is one of my favorites. Battle Cross, obviously, is one of the best. Alright, I'm gonna come back when I can afford the holy water. So for now, I'll go to the forest. Must go over. Yeah, quite fast at ascending the staircases too. And you can jump on and off them. These are all improvements from the original NES games, I think. Where Skibbin is just vibing to the music. Yeah, it's really cool. And like I showed on the website, you can go, there's a link to like the sound, I think it's SoundCloud page of the composer or the arranger. So you can listen to all these tunes on their own as well. And they're very well done, of course. On top of being strong compositions taken from the original Castlevania games in the first place. They're converted well to the Spectrum format, whatever that's called. There's a name for it. SID or something? I don't remember. Yeah, I talked about how this needed the 128K model because of the... Ooh! I'm sure the original 48K model, or 16K even, wouldn't have been able to play this as smoothly. 3 directions. Okay, 2 of them are the same. Let's go down. Ooh, hello. Don't recognize this tune. Ghosts! No, eye. Floating eye of some kind. Oh. Oh, hello. I want that. That's a health up. If I guess right. That's... Yes. My overall health increased and it refilled it. That's beautiful. Okay. So this is, oh yes, healing statue, lovely. This game is available for free from the website, but there was a physical run from Bum Fun Software, which is a very strange name for a company, but okay. That's cool. And I went and I kind of searched for Bum Fun when I was researching this and then regretted it, so just be careful. Bum Fun Software was like a printing. They do limited run prints of physical versions of like these homebrew kind of games for Spectrum and other systems. So, and they did a few runs with different artwork on them that looks pretty cool. One of them was like a variation of Gabriel Belmont from Lords of Shadow. Yeah, so depending on the version you get, that can cost between 10 and 15 pounds, but it's a real cassette and well made and stuff. Okay, so we can't activate the altar before we collect all the parts. So this again is sort of a throwback to Castlevania 2, where Simon was collecting the scattered parts of Dracula. The ring, the rib of Vlad, the eye, the heart, and whatever else. It changes slightly when they come back in later games. Like, you collect them all in Symphony of the Night as well, but I think there's a bit of a difference with the items. Anyway, yeah, so I guess that's part of it. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, I made it. So I guess that's where the game will end. We backtrack to that part when we've gotten everything. And that's where we'll summon Dracula. Ah! Having that little bit extra health buffer zone is very useful, but I'm still dying in 4 hits. At least all the enemies in this area are dying in 1 hit. That helps a lot. Now I could backtrack at this point for the holy water, but I'm gonna keep going. I might be able to get the cross, actually, if I spend long enough in here. Which is good, because that also usually has a bigger hitbox. I assume that based on what I know from how these sub-weapons behave in other games, that the knife would miss those fishmen, but the cross would actually hit them. Okay, so I'm going to need more abilities to make it further here. I can pick this up, though. Don't be offended, but I must say, your whip is crap. Okay. So I found like an extra bit of chain that will make my whip better if I go back to the blacksmith. Ah! Okay, and I can't jump high enough to reach that, so this is another little Metroidvania thing here. Excuse me? Hold on a sec. Oh, okay, so that bar underneath my health bar must be the sort of an indicator of your whip strength. No. Okay, there we go. Hello, Midna. You're very frisky today. Normally she has an afternoon nap at this time, but maybe she was already napping earlier. What happened to your schedule, Minna? Your routine? Cats thrive on routine. Very low on health here. So I can either go forward to that statue or just pop back up here, which I will do. Oh, gotta go around. Now I wonder how much the... Whoa, that's a new enemy. Dang. Well, let's go to the statue. Get a little bit more money. I was going to say, I wonder how much the blacksmith is going to charge me. You right there, Midna? You made me die. Oh no, oh no. I saw that coming. Actually... So I bent down to grab that chain off the ground. I've been seeing these things around. I just wonder if they're items. Okay, here we go. So I crouched down to interact with this, and it is indeed interactable. A quarter of an altar. A broken altar. Oh, and they're color-coded too. Oh, great. Ugh, come on. No! So I don't know if that means that I have to pick them up in proper order, or I can just hoover them all up and on the way and... Okay, so something's changed. If you look at my coin meter, my coin total, beneath that is a little bit of red that indicates that I've collected part of the red altar, so it is just collectibles. You just hoover them up. That's good to know. So I'm going to go over to that statue and then backtrack the way I came to grab any altar pieces I missed. Ugh, come on. Sorry. Let's just vibe to this music. Here's a bit. Oh, I can't go that way. Nuts. Back the way I came. No! Yeah, I died. Just do a little check here. Since I died... Yeah, I come back here before any of that stuff. So I lost progress. Through careless play. Nah. Alright, time for Ultra Save Scum mode. Great. So maybe the parts they were talking about were altar parts. I need 4 parts for each altar. And that's going to be like our first boss probably in that room down there. What color was the broken altar? I don't remember. Because the bits you collect have to correspond to the altar that you're going to reconstruct, I guess. So I wonder what abilities we're going to get in this game. Double jumps. Commonly in the Metroidvania type titles, you get like a high jump where you have a huge vertical leap. I don't know if that's going to be in this one. But I can definitely see a double jump considering that health potion back then. And we know we're going to upgrade our whip, but that's not like a progression enhancement thing. Alright, hooray, saved. Checkpoint, can check this altar. Looks blue, great. That's information that we now have. Well, we had it before, but I didn't know it was important before. So on top of the physical printing of this, there were plans for a port to the Master System. Not by the original team, but by somebody else who was posting on the, I think it was the SMS Power forums, and trying to solicit help with the project, which they did secure some, but as far as I can tell, the project kind of stalled out and never completed. But yeah, they were talking about how it's easy, or it's, you know, possible to port games from the Spectrum to the Master System. And I think I've heard of this before. Like, it has a similar processor. It has the same frequency of processor or something that makes it easier than some other ports to do these kinds of projects. So yeah, that's the kind of clout that this project had. It's pretty well known, I think, among Castlevania fan games, this Spectral Interlude, and so well regarded that people are wanting to port it to other platforms, which is cool. I did see a write-up of it on Mr. P's Castlevania Realm, which had listings for a lot of different quality Castlevania fan games and things. Gave me a few things to check out for the future, actually. Alright, with our 200, should we get the map, or should I go check out the blacksmith and see how much they charge? No, the map is a feature I really want to check out, so let's do that. Okay. You know, I never tried pressing start before, even though I knew that was bound to the map button. Yeah, I'm gonna just load my state real quick and press that start button. Let's see if anything happens. Oh my gosh, I do have a map, but I don't have the nifty added features that our friend there is going to add to it with our 200 gold investment. But now I know that. So it's going to add like extra features to the map. And here's an altarpiece that I now know about. So yeah, let's go check out the blacksmith first. I think improving my attack power is going to be good. Oh, but that still won't help me with those mermen. So maybe I want a sub-weapon first. Ah, too many things to consider. So this is Richter, right? No, this is Marcus, the blacksmith. I think his shop was closed before, until I got this whip extension thing. Could be possible, but I don't have resources. An hour of my work costs 30 gold. The more resources you bring me, the stronger I'll make your whip. So resources means, yeah, the metal bit that I picked up. And 30 gold, that's quite reasonable. So I've done that. And I don't think it's any longer, but it might be stronger. It looks longer under the health bar. Maybe it is a bit longer. I could just extend that sprite a bit. 30 gold's a good investment for a stronger main weapon. Okay. Yeah, so I can't afford the cross anymore, but I can still get the holy water, which is probably better with its arc for dealing with those fishmen anyway, so let's do that. But then I don't know what the priest is going to sell me, but progress is also important, so... Yeah, let's grab that. Okay, so hearts are now a mechanic. And once you buy multiples of these, you can then cycle through them with 1 and 2. So I have the holy water. And what am I going to do now? Well, the enemies are still weaker in the east, in the forest, so I guess I'll go back there. Even though I now have the tools to deal with Merman. Yeah, it's like the logical game progression would be going this way first, I guess. So Gibbon is saying in chat that there is a conversion process. Wait a tick. I upgraded my whip, but it still takes 2 hits to kill a wolfman. Okay, so it's not that kind of upgrade. Or at least, it's possible that it's doing slightly more damage and maybe it'll kill a 3-hit enemy in 2 hits instead, I don't know. But even if it's just a little bit longer, that's good too. Anyway, so Gibbon's saying there is a conversion process for Specky to Master System. For lots of games, you can just run them through a converter. Interesting. But for more complex stuff, there will need to be tweaking. That's fascinating. Oh my gosh, I'm dropping so many frames. My internet must be really bad today. Sorry about that. Not much I can do about it. I've been getting a lot of emails recently from my internet provider talking about how they're going to be doing maintenance on the line soon from X time to Y time and stuff. So who knows, it might improve. No, that's not really how it works, I guess. Alright, this one takes 3. 1, 2. Aha! I was right. So I'm doing like 1.5 damage now or whatever. So, oh, that was dumb. I haven't saved in a while, so I'll just do that. But another whip upgrade. I could have grabbed this earlier. A lot earlier if I just scooted over here. So I've got an icon next to the whip showing that it can be upgraded, but I need to install it at the blacksmith to move that over to the left. Alright, so that's 3, but we can't go that way. Okay, so this world is not so huge. There's just so many screens to the left of town that are just kind of repetitive. I kind of figured that pushing on would be a huge endeavor, but there you go. Without too much trouble, we've grabbed another altar piece and a whip extension. So we can go back, install that at the blacksmith, and then head off to the merman, which will presumably hold our 4th blue altar piece. And then I can go and summon that monster. And I haven't tried the holy water yet, because I don't feel I need to, and hearts are a limited resource as usual. I never liked the heart system. When they finally decided to get rid of it with like Aria of Sorrow, Order of Ecclesia, that's why I like those games a lot better. I think the Sorrow games still have hearts, but they just refill your like recharging mana bar anyway. From memory, it's been a while. So we still need to save up for whatever that priest is going to give us. I think in the original game the priests gave you like crystal orbs that would just they glorified keys basically. So how about a discount, Mr. Priest? 300. Oh, he actually does tell you what it's for. What it does. I didn't read this before. He's got an amulet, which will fast travel me back to this church from an external shrine, i.e. save point. Which, by the way, look just like the ones in... I think it's Aria of Sorrow that has those angel statues. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. Somebody correct me. Okay, we're going to take on those mermen. Okay. I guess my goal for this portion of the stream then is to finish the blue altar and take on that first boss. Then I'll play some other of the Spectrum homebrews that I've been finding. So when I started doing research, there's a lot of them out there. You know, Spectrum was a very popular device and people were making homebrews on it even, you know, when it was new. Bedroom coders tinkering around on it. Even managing to publish their games through small labels or independently, or distributing them in other ways. And some people never stopped, I guess, or they kept, or they revived the practice in more recent years. Okay, so I do have the whole blue altar now, but what I'm going to do is push on a little bit more, maybe see if I can get a health upgrade or something. Then backtrack to the boss altar. So we're going to make our first use of... Wow, okay, it cost 3. And it's okay, I guess. It was enough to get me this far at least, so it did its job, but I'm now out of hearts to do it again. Which actually means if I backtrack onto the screen, I'm boned. Oh well, so much for that idea. Yeah, I guess I'm going back. Just pushing on a little bit to see what I can see. But I did grab that altar piece just now. I'm not even sure what that was. A bat, maybe? You think it's a bat? If I had that warp amulet, I could push onto a save point and then just go back, but otherwise I'm stuck until I find more hearts, or I'll load that earlier save state. Nope. Nice. So the purple altar, or magenta, I guess. There's only so many colors the spec you can do. You'll notice that everything is, you know, there's only a certain number of colors here. Cyan, dark blue, red, yellow, green, magenta. That's it, I think. Black and white, of course. That's the specky for you. Oh my gosh, what the heck is that? Demon. So at least we're seeing a few more of those enemy types. Oh man. Where's my extra jump when I need it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, a heart. Lovely. Yeah, you're probably more likely to get them out of the fires, actually. Considering that's how it usually works. Which means I have enough to get back, so I can save state. Okay. Ow. Jerks. I'll explore as much as I can to get an advantage. This artifact will increase your spiritual power, but it doesn't refill it. I guess that means I can carry more hearts. That's certainly what the icon would suggest, but I still have to actually fill it manually. Sadly. Oh my gosh, that's rough. A lot of identical screens here. Oh my gosh, these things. Very rude. Oh, another piece of red altar. I haven't seen where the red base is yet. I would guess that it's up here somewhere. Ow. They jump at just the wrong time, don't they? Now, I wonder if there's any wall chicken in this game, because my health is not looking too healthy. Ugh. Well, I pushed a little bit into the new area, but it's a bit rough there, and my goal for the stream and for the current state of the game is to get to the blue altar, so I guess I'll go back and do that now before I get myself in more trouble. Ah. No! Again, they're very merciful, respawning you with a bit of a health ding. But I was, of course, in iframes when I fell in, which means I didn't take any damage at all. I like that. I like that feature. Oh no, you jerk. Alright, I'm set. I'm going back. Which means I can make more save scumming states. Every time. Anyway, I do like the setting. Oh, come on. I thought I was a bit past that, because that particular skeleton throws 2 high and then 1 low. I thought I'd be safe. Ah. I wonder if you can negate knockback by crouching. That's a feature in some games. I can't test it right now because I'm 1 hit from death, I believe. I could do this. Nope, still get knocked back. Okay. Oop. Alright, we're going back to that blue altar. And on the way, I'm... well... don't really have enough money to buy anything else, so never mind. Okay. Oh no! I don't have enough! Oh no! Did I get anything tangible by coming this way? I got the health up, the heart upgrade, I guess. Death through screen transition. What was I gonna say? The setting. Yeah, I like the setting. In the 1800s, a lot of my favorite games in the series are set there, including, of course, Order of Ecclesia, which is one of my favorites. But yeah, this time when you get a lot more variety in protagonists thanks to the story. You still get some like Belmont clone characters who... oh, yeah. I think now that I have a longer whip, I'm actually... is it longer? I don't know yet. Oh my gosh. Anyway, whatever. I think I don't really need the sub-weapon to get past this screen is what I'm trying to say. I can just crouch here and hit that guy. But I don't even know if my whip is longer than it was. Probably not. I think it's just more powerful. Anyway. Yeah, the setting. Like, this is when the 64 games happen, where you get, like, Cornell and Carrie Fernandez, people like this. So, yeah, just having extra variety and diversity in the playable characters is great. I like that. Ah! It's happening. The pain. Okay. Yeah, so that's cool. This is also the time when... ugh. When a cancelled game was going to happen. Oh, one more thing, actually. Castlevania Resurrection, the cancelled 3D Dreamcast game that I played a prototype of during last year's streams. Victor is coming from this time period. He is like a failed Belmont, so he'd be the generation after this guy. Who is renouncing his lineage and his heritage. Oof. Yeah, so this cancelled game, it was a Chinese-developed mobile game. There were sort of playable builds of it shown off at certain points, but it was ultimately cancelled. It was set in this time, and there was a huge variety of playable characters, including a Belmont who was a woman, by the way. But yeah, it never came to pass, and information on it in English is a little bit scarce too. I really should have been saving more during that sequence, but I will. I think, I don't know, it seemed a little bit similar to Grimoire of Souls, so maybe Konami decided that since they were reviving that for Apple Arcade, they didn't need the Chinese one anymore, or whatever reason. Who knows? But what I could find out about it was pretty tantalizing. I liked the new playable characters they were adding to it. It does have a bit of the crossover aspect, like Grimoire of Souls, where you could summon past heroes as well, but having an extensive new cast of new character types is always a lot of fun. Yeah, so I was going to talk about Simon Belmont earlier. The reuse of the name Simon Belmont is sort of a thing that I have some, theories about. There's other heroes called Simon Belmont that are outside of the timeline of the original Simon Belmont. So in Konami YY World, which I've also played on stream before, Simon is unlockable, but he's labeled in the manual as Simon Belmont III. So does that mean that he's like the grandson of the original Simon Belmont? Or maybe the original Simon Belmont was the third? Who knows? And then you got to fit in the Lords of Shadow, Mirror of Fate Simon as well. So yeah, I could grab the dagger now, and that's the only thing I can afford, but I'm going to instead not do that and just head over to the blue altar as I am, because I think the holy water's probably fine. Actually, if this is the last thing I'm playing of this game today, I might as well buy it. Nope, that's Richter. Might as well buy it because it might come in handy, who knows. Knife. And now I will demonstrate switching between weapons. Pretty cool. Holy water looks a bit like an eggplant though, which is funny. Oh, no, I was trying to whip this torch, thank you. Depriving your town of valuable light. Gotta try and stock up a bit before this boss. Sorry I didn't buy your map in this timeline, lady. Oh, killing wolfmen in one hit. Beautiful. Yeah, the knife. I got the knife. Should we test it? Let's go. Knife time. Yeah! Takes 3 hearts as well. Normally I would expect the knife to take 1 heart. Man, it's rough, this game. Charging you so much for your sub-weapons. Oh well. Yeah, the other Simon Belmont is from a game book, so having like choose your own adventure game books was a pretty big thing in Japan in the 80s, so there's like 6 or 8 different Zelda ones. There's a Metroid one that's quite good with some awesome illustrations and a new plot line. So yeah, like a lot of big video game series had these game book, sometimes adaptations, sometimes new stories, and there's a few Castlevania ones. There's one that's like the next generation after Castlevania 3 that's pretty cool. All the characters have children, so you're like Zook, Ro Dynasty. From memory, I don't know. There's another Dump here who's related to Alucard, maybe. I forget. But yeah, there's one that's set in the 1950s, and the descendant of Simon Belmont, who was also called Simon Belmont, is a movie star who is starring in a film that recreates the adventures of his ancestor, but then the film becomes real and he actually has to fight monsters. That's the plot of that one. And so that's the other Simon Belmont. So there's at least 3, maybe 4, plus this guy. Anyway, let's save state and interact with this altar. Whoa, screen flash, sorry about that. Who is this thing? Some kind of horned skeleton beast? Perhaps a minotaur? Ah! Oh my gosh. Okay, what are we gonna do here? So I was just demonstrating that we can drop through platforms. Maybe that's what we're gonna do. Whoop! Okay. That's not great. Let's try some sub-weapon use. Nope. Oh, he blocks the knives. Great. Well, I can do this at least. Okay. Screen flash. Sorry. So that hurts. Maybe you have to avoid the shield. Ugh. Okay, I'm glad that flame stays there, because I can damage him that way. When he runs past. Still got to try and avoid taking damage myself, but I get over him like this. Yeah, as long as I time it to avoid the fireballs. Ooh! Should be able to avoid this pattern. But that's all my hearts gone. And I'm dead. Okay. So we want to be using holy water. Screen flash warning. I'll save after it this time. So that's fine. We don't have to put up with that again. I'll just continue my save state abuse. Okay, cool. It's tricky. If I can hit him over here and then jump out of the way, I don't know, it's going to be tricky. The other thing I could do is abuse my own invincibility frames to get some hits in, but that won't last too long, will it now? Ah, and I can't jump over him, he's too big. Oh yeah, I forgot. I can do this at least. It dies. Thank you for pointing out my shortcomings, Gibbo. Jeez. Ah! Jump didn't come off there. Ah! Thought I could get through that. Nope. This is not going well. This is almost the best I can be right now, unless there was more health pickups further on that left side of the screen I was at. So what can I do? That's what I can do. Nope. Because he attacks. I really want to stay away from him as much as I can. I can drop down and hit him there. So like this. Oh, that was tough though, because he's also really fast. Oh, didn't make it. That was foolish. So I can do like... he's actually faster than me. Woof. Okay, that almost worked. So something like this, and then... He's got so much invincibility frames. Urgh. Okay. He's faster, so you gotta get away and then drop down. Yeah, that works. Okay. So that's the kind of thing I want to try and do. Oh. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that works. And get over. Yeah, getting over it. Nope, still invincible. Okay. Used up all my holy water. Let's do a cheeky mid-battle save state. Yeah, baby. Oops, too early. Hey, that worked. Get away! Yes. One more. Tank it. Oh, screen flash. Sorry. Yikes. Alright, what's this? A big coin. The monster has left a copper shield behind it. I've heard about it. It is a very ancient artifact which protects you from missiles, even magic ones from hell creatures. It has one weakness though. After blocking one attack, it becomes inactive for some time. Okay. The first Belmont with a shield. Blocking projectiles sounds great. but it's a recharging thing. That's okay though. So yeah, there's a lot of new mechanics in this, which are kind of cool, and especially cool compared to what you would see on the ZX Spectrum. Alright, something is wrong. Some plot is happening. The air seems vile, and there's more evil creatures around than before when we were coming here. Oh great. So the overworld has been upgraded, and it's going to be harder to get around now. I do not like this. Maybe you misunderstood me. The artifact doesn't summon a single chosen monster. They just feel attraction to the power of altars and choose to live near them. What we actually did, we've weakened the barrier between worlds on quite a vast area, and thus many more monsters are coming. And how do we stop it? Why bother? The fabric of reality should rebuild itself in a few years. Is this a joke? Not at all, but if it is so important for you to push the evil back, then there is one simple way to do it. Just finish what we started. So, Simon's been tricked. Kill Dracula. Destroy Dracula, and the monsters will run away from the places. Without disturbance in the fabric between worlds, yep, it will build itself faster. And we're going to turn lands into frightful demonic realms, making my error several times bigger for a slight chance to correct it. What if I fail? You didn't have your doubts when you decided to summon Dracula. Do you really need to watch results of your actions in practice first and only later start to think it over? Point to you. But you could have warned me about all of it. You could have, but you didn't. Didn't want to. And why is that? It's none of your business. I'll decide myself if it is my business. Yes, they have the same voice now. Sorry about that. You soul-sucking dark crystal. I'm not a psycho who dreams of destroying the world. Yes, I'm egoistic. Okay. So things are heating up. And I can save. Hooray! But yeah, that'll finish my little run here of Spectral Interlude. It's a much more expansive game than what we've seen already. There's got to be a double jump, hopefully. And yeah, there's room for quite a few altars to build. I don't know how many bosses it has, but yeah, several. Yeah, so I'll make a save state there, and then I'll play some other games. How about that? Alright, hydration break. I think Earth is taking a hydration break right now. It's a lot of rain today. Alright, I'm going to show you what we're going to play next. So we've done one kind of fan game based on a NES classic, and now another. Ducktales Webby to the Rescue is a homebrew ZX Spectrum game by N10Team, published in 2021, just a few months ago. It's available in English and Ukrainian, which suggests to me that the team is from Ukraine, but I don't know for sure. The names on some of the names on the title screen seem a bit from that area of the world. And by the way, solidarity with Ukraine during this troubling time. Very sad to see what's happening over there, thanks to the Russian invasion. And also, by the way, there's plenty of good people in Russia, just not at the very top making the political decisions. Anyway, DuckTales, how about that? Another NES game that I'm not too familiar with, but this one caught my eye because it puts the girl as the main character, which I am always approving of. So Webby is the little friend to the nephews, and yeah, this is a homebrew Spectrum game based in that DuckTales universe. Now, we'll recognize this name. The Mohon twins are a Spanish collective who make homebrew games. I featured some of them in a few streams back. The NES games, I played a bit of Rendezvous, Zombie Calavera, and Sonic Mal on their faux bootleg multi-cart thing. But they've actually also made, you know, tools that have now allowed other people to make their own homebrews. So that's nice. I will be playing a couple of Mohon Twin games after this. But first, the DuckTales thing. Pa-ding, ka-ching, ka-chung, ka-thunk. Flume. So here we are at Fort Cockroach. Uncle Scrooge has brought Webby on a little trip. So N10Team is 3D Shuminator and Halcyon, apparently. The name's up there. Gonna turn that volume down a bit. But this is a sort of approximation of the Ducktales theme song, of course. Hope you're enjoying that. Oh, Gibbon's enjoying it. Yeah. So we pick keyboard, and the emulator maps that onto my controller input, so that's nice. Part of the plot is that, Scrooge has gone missing, so Webby picks up some rocks and travels into the scary castle to try and rescue him and maybe some other people, I forgot. But yeah, that explains our projectile attack here, which is rock-based. Don't know how to get that. Maybe we fall down from a higher screen. So these are sort of things that we've seen in the NES Ducktale games. Skeletal ducks in a spooky level. Oh, okay, we got a pushing mechanic. It fell down very fast. Got some very dense material here. But that helps us get over here. And now we can drop down and grab that. Lovely. 1 diamond. Gotta grab all those diamonds. So yeah, some nice sprite work here. Using a single color for the sprites to still make a detailed look. I like that. I think it's done well here. Don't know how much assets are reused or converted from the NES game, but whether it is or not, I think this game looks pretty cool. Looks nice. Webby feels very floaty in her jumps, but that's okay. She's a duck after all. They should be like that pretty much. Alright, that key's going to let us through that locked door back there. So the level structure seems similar to what they were in the NES game, which is, a bit like Castlevania 2. Back and forth, you're doubling back and collecting things to unlock progress, but yeah, a bit more vertical here, which is nice. I like that. And not as much grinding for money, which I also like. Okay, cool. So I can go up or down. Oop. I lost a whole life just by falling like that. That's very Mahonian, isn't it? I did briefly show off a couple of Mohon Twin games where you'll instantly die but come back straight away where you are, and it costs a life, but you don't lose any progress. So yeah, this is definitely built using the Mohon engine or whatever. Although heavily modified, as they say. Yeah. Unfortunate that we don't get any catchy tunes during gameplay here, but it's nice anyway. What's the time? I'm not sure how long I should spend playing each of these, but there's a few to do. So maybe when I get to some kind of milestone here, I'll move on. But I'm enjoying this. It's very cute. Webby's great. All the Ducktales games, there's a few of them. None of them have Webby as the main character. Webigail. I've never seen any of the duck shows. Maybe a little bit of Darkwing Duck when I was very young, but I don't remember it really. So, Gibbon, do you have any opinions about Webigail? I wish Tony was here. I think one of the things they wanted to do with the new show is make some of these characters that were originally a bit generic, make them more interesting, give them more personality traits, like they distinguished the nephews a bit more maybe. But I think Webby definitely got an overhaul for that show, as far as I know. So what's this, an ice cream? It's like a soft serve down here. It gave me an extra life, great. Kids love ice cream. But hey, so do I. Gibbon says, nope. No opinions on Webby. That's fine. I like that even though, you know, they couldn't have too many colors or details in her sprite, they put her face up the top of the screen for a bit of extra, I don't know, detail. Yeah. To show you, this is who you're playing. This is what they're supposed to look like. All right. So only one way to go now. Still haven't reached any like milestone, but I'll keep playing. Ah. The side of the spike hitbox. Oh no. No, stop it. No, game over. That felt like that would lead into a screen, and I hadn't saved for a while either. Oh, actually, it wasn't too long ago. I'll try and get through that screen then. It kind of looked like it was leading up to something, you know what I mean? It's like big important entrance over here. And yeah, sorry, should be noted that one of the big cool mechanics of the Ducktales games on NES and Game Boy was the pogo bouncing that Scrooge could do. That's not a feature here. Obviously, it would have been tricky to do on the Spectrum, but also we're playing as Webby, not Scrooge, so that's fine. Maybe one of those factors informed the other in this case, but yeah. So we don't have that like key feature. So what we're left with is a pretty simple kind of platformer, relatively typical for what you would have seen on the Spectrum. Oh wow, that's the end of the game. Huh. Yeah, let's finish it. If we get 2 more keys, we can rescue Scrooge and the nephews. Great. Hey, stop it. And if we get all the diamonds in the game, we, I guess there's an extra ending or something because you impressed Scrooge by getting so much wealth, I guess. Yeah, okay, that's great. I didn't know this would be so short, but that's fine. Having a limited scope is perfectly reasonable. Just doing a little bit of saves, coming to save on lives here. I'm happy to see this through since the end is in sight. Yeah, okay. So we'll go this way first. I saw a key at the top, and here's the other one, so that's real easy. If you push that through, you can't continue, so you have to go over it. Yeah, there we go. Sacrifice. I'll try and sacrifice 1 life to get through that. Bit of damage boosting to save time. So normally you'd have to go up and around and push that other one down to give you a little bit of a... Oop. To give you another platform to stand on. There we go. I bypassed all that with my elite speedrunning tactics. Also my save states. Webby. So 8 diamonds. There's another one. I assume there's 10 in all, which means I'll need to look for 1 more, probably to the left of that screen. But yeah, there's something to be said for having a nice compact design to your game. Making a compelling little experience that is also over relatively quickly. There's an art to that. So go left here. Get last diamond. Perfect. Now we're ready to beat the game. Ah. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Let's go. Oh wait, wrong screen. Down 1. Okay. And ta-da! Dream and Friends. Congratulations. Webby rescues Scrooge and his nephews from a trap in the treasury of Fort Cockroach. Fire. Go. Continue. The richest duck. Thanks to the 10 diamonds found by Webby, Scrooge has officially become the richest duck in the world. Where's Webby's share? So that's the secret ending. Oh, lovely. Get a little tune again. But you know, the wealth isn't the important thing. The most important thing is Dream and Friends. That's from the beta version of the Ducktales NES game. The actual ending didn't have that awkward phrasing. Or that sentiment, really. Okay. So we just talked about the Mohon twins. The next one I'm going to play is... like, you can go to their website, by the way. Go to Juegos Mojonos. Or Gueg. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry about that. My Spanish is not so good. But yeah, lots of different systems that they've made these homebrews for. And each page, like the Spectrum page alone, there's 4 pages of games. And this is one of them. So this is Maritrini Freelance Monster Slayer. So Maritrini is like a Sarah Michelle Gellar style. She was in a television show where she was a monster slayer, and then the director was replaced by some kind of monster or demon thing who fired her from the show. But then the real producer or director then hired her to be an actual monster slayer. If you have a vampire after you, I will turn it into poo, is the catchphrase of her new business, Actual Monster Slaying. And she gets into that. And that's the plot. That's what we're doing. And let's go. There's a follow-up to this as well, where you play as her just getting ready for the morning in her mansion. And it's more like an adventure game. I'll just change the window. Gibbon appreciates the catchphrase. Yes. It was different in Spanish. Hang on. I'll read you the Spanish version, because all of the Mohon twins... pages, all of them have Spanish. Some of them also have it in English. So in Spanish, the catchphrase is Martitrini, si tienes un vampiro al equecho toca el timbre que le esquebecho. Oh my gosh, sorry about the pronunciation. That was awful. Anyway, let's play. So this is cool. I picked this one for a couple of reasons. Number one, because it doesn't have nudity in it, which I talked about in the previous time I was showcasing Mohon Twins games, so we don't have to go over that again. Play. Start. But also because it is a different format. Like, I'm also playing a lot of platformers today. They're just side-on. This one has a different kind of gameplay style, so I thought that would be more interesting to showcase. Maritrini arrives in the forest. I'm sure this is the right place, she thinks to herself. It is, in fact, a top-down shooter. And look at this scrolling on the ZX Spectrum. You don't always get that. Most games go for flip screen style structure, but this one, the scrolling's not very smooth, but that's to be expected with the power of the system. This is not its strength. The same criticism the same limitation is often noticed in MSX games that try to implement scrolling. The system's just not great at it. I'm missing a key. So I'm a monster hunter. I have to destroy these, whatever they are, maybe zombies probably. They're coming out of oil barrels for some reason. Maybe they're robots. Are robots monsters? They can be. Not necessarily. On Doctor Who they sometimes are. These other bottles add to my energy. And that's as far as I know about the game. So let's just explore a bit, shall we? This is a little bit slow, a little bit soft. I'll turn up the volume a bit so I can enjoy these nice tunes. And yeah, we did. There was that list of credits in the title screen phase and also on the website. I didn't go through it, but yeah, a few of the Mohon Twins regulars were responsible for this. Okay. Uh-oh. Luckily I have infinite ammo. I must have a special bandana of some kind. That's a Metal Gear Solid reference, by the way. I know it's like passe to explain your reference, but I don't want anyone to feel left out. If you beat the game under certain conditions in Metal Gear Solid 1, you get a special bandana that gives you infinite ammo. And canonically, Snake has that bandana during the events of subsequent games, like when Raiden meets him in Metal Gear Solid 2. Like, Snake gives him a gun and he's like, are you going to be okay with just that gun that you have otherwise? And he points to his bandana and he says, don't worry about me, I have infinite ammo. So that's the thing that happened. Well, that just happened. Need more keys. So I don't know how long this game is. What's the time? I shouldn't spend too long on this. I have more things to play. But I just wanted to show the structure of this, how it's got the completely scrolling world, which performs reasonably well. And again, the use of enlarged character artwork in the HUD bar, which is a common thing for games of this era on these kinds of platforms. But I think Maritrini is a fun kind of protagonist. She's kind of nervous. You can tell she's not really cut out for monster hunting in real life. But she's having a go at it anyway and doing fairly well. Why don't we get to the end of this level, since I noticed we're on level 1-1. There's going to be more levels, but we can complete this one at least. Oh, okay, Gibbon says this is a bit like Gauntlet. Well, actually, a lot like Gauntlet. Oh, thank you for banning a spammer. Much appreciated. Oh yeah, Twitch's dashboard did not have a listing for Castlevania Spectral Interlude, so I picked Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest as the nominated game I was playing, since it's based on it, basically, and similar to it. It's always tricky when I play these tiny indie games. They're not on Twitch's database, so what do? You just pick something that's similar. Hope I'm not breaking their terms of service or anything. But yeah, that's a good point. The fact that this is similar to Gauntlet, the top-down kind of shooter. It's not. I don't know if it predates twin stick shooters, but it's just a control scheme that doesn't support twin sticks. But yeah, like swarms of enemies, enemy spawners. That's a Gauntlet thing. Recovering your health through pickups and stuff. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that comparison. I haven't played Gauntlet itself, but I have played Lego Dimensions, which part of, it's a big crossover with a lot of IPs, a lot of which are owned by Warner Brothers. And one of the things that Warner Brothers owns is the back catalog of Midway arcade games, and they integrated that into Lego Dimensions. So you can get a character and a vehicle that unlocks the ability to play various arcade games that are just included as ROMs on the system. And they have a decent interface for showing you the controls for it and stuff. On top of that, there are segments of the Lego game outside of the arcade ROMs where they kind of recreate classic arcade type experiences. So there's a level where you're top down and you're playing as, Wildstyle and Gandalf or whatever in a Gauntlet style structure of a level. So that's pretty fun. I'm trying to remember if there is Gauntlet itself included as an arcade game, and if I remember playing it, but I do remember playing the Lego sort of version of Gauntlet that's in there. So I just loaded up the next level to check out. There's no change in graphics, but there's a new music track, which is nice. But I do want to move on now. I'll very quickly show you another Mohon Twins game. This was released on another compilation that they did, although it's also available standalone. But the Mohon Twins cover tape number 2 includes a lot of fun and interesting looking games, all ZX Spectrum homebrews, including Mega Megan. The story is that Mega Megan is a Victorian assassin who travels in time and space with her own TARDIS disguised just like the Doctor's just because. She collects Edison light bulbs, which are a rare and valuable collector's item. In this serial, she travels to the planet Mosquete Amazon in 7890 AD. Armed with a special gun and a bad attitude, she has to find 12 light bulbs and return to her TARDIS. Be careful with the pools of red acid, avoid the electrified yellowish things, and most importantly, avoid the Amazons. And thankfully, like a lot of these homebrew games that I'm playing, it uses a standard control scheme for many Spectrum games of QAOP. Q and A is up and down, and O and P is left and right, and this is pretty common on the platform. So I thought you might appreciate this, given us a Doctor Who fan, and especially an Iris Wildtime fan. So what do I do? This one, and then yes, we're good to go. So here we are on the planet of the Amazons. This game is one of the several that were converted to NES homebrews and were featured on the bootleg cartridge thing that I played in the NES and Game Boy bootlegs stream a few streams ago. The thing about that particular port was they had more detailed sprites on the NES than they were able to do on the Spectrum version, and therefore the sort of lewdness of it was more apparent. If you can't tell, the Amazons are not they're not excessively clad, let's say, but you can't really tell with these tiny cartoony sprites, so I'm more okay with it in this case. So yeah, I think it's a funny, silly premise, and well, having a Victorian assassin with a TARDIS is just silly. We're doing a whole lot of murder here, but yeah, as with other Mohon Twins games and the Ducktales Webby game, we have a life counter that decrements. Is decrement a word? Anyway, it goes down when you take damage, and you immediately will lose one of those, lives, but you just continue where you were. And those hazards do kill you straight away on the map there. So yeah, it's actually pretty similar to the Maritrini Monster Hunter, Monster Slayer game, or whatever it was called, with the top-down roaming around, shooting, etc., gauntlet style. It even has the spawners, although they're not physically represented. You can't stop this particular Amazon spot from continually spawning, it seems. I just want to grab this heart, though. What? I just phased through that corner of that wall. That sucks. The heart probably just gives you one extra life, I guess. But yeah. I don't know if there's going to be... Yeah, I think this is just sort of a smaller scale game once you get those 12 light bulbs and exit. Wait, where'd the heart go? Did I get it? Oh, okay, whatever. Go unlock that door. Yeah. Gibbon says this is neat. Yeah, it is neat. It's cute. Four light bulbs. That's the end. I noticed a reuse of the font from Zombie Calavera, which, by the way, Zombie Calavera, like I said, played a lot of that on the last NES homebrew stream. That was originally a ZX Spectrum game. That's on their website, along with all their other homebrews. I do recommend the NES version though, because it adds Maria as a playable character, and I think she was a lot more fun to play as. All right, I think that'll do it for Mega Megan. It was cute. So moving on from the Mohon twins. Okay, this one is pretty wacky. There's a whole story about this, and I recommend going to Bad Game Hall of Fame and just reading all their articles. It's great. But why did I have this open? Well, this is the guy who made these games. TARDIS Remakes. I've played some of them before. Sakura, aka Soren Borgquist. Based in Denmark, I believe, based on the .dk and the fact that on his Twitter feed he mentioned going on a Danish television show. Anyway, Squidge. This is like a famous horror story of the Spectrum library. There's a Commodore 64 game where you're a little bird flying around a cavern, finding stuff. Pretty standard fare, I guess, although the setting is kind of fantastical and fun. The original Spectrum release in 1987 is known as the worst Spectrum game ever, and that's the premise of this Bad Game Hall of Fame article about it. I couldn't get it working at short notice on my emulator, but I can show you this bit of footage of it. This is what the game looks like in its original Spectrum release. Now, there's a reason for this. The publisher contracted a guy to do a port from the Commodore 64 to the Spectrum, but they did not provide him with a version of the Commodore 64 game. Also, he was a teenager. He was sort of unwittingly roped into doing this port, and he didn't really want to do it. So what he decided to do was code a really buggy, bare bones, badly made, he didn't spend too much effort on it, port, and then submit it to them in the hopes that they would reject it and release him from the contract. Instead of rejecting it, they published it, and they didn't just publish it, they published it twice by republishing it in a compilation later on. They didn't check it or what, I don't know what happened, but this was published, it was bought by people, and some people were very disappointed with it. So anyway, fast forward to 2018, and Sakura decided to make a proper conversion of Squidge to the Spectrum, and that's what we're going to play next. There's also a separate, like, total overhaul remake of Squidge for the Spectrum. I'm not playing that one because I couldn't get... yeah, I think you have to pay for that one, whereas this one is freeware. So this is what Squidge was always supposed to be like, thanks to TARDIS Remakes. Oh, I didn't mention, of course, I've played a TARDIS Remake game before. I've played Dingo, the Spectrum version. So Dingo was an arcade game by the Stampers of Ashby Computers and Graphics, later Ultimate Play the Game, later Rare. And yeah, I did play this on the previous stream where TARDIS or Sakura had converted Dingo to the Spectrum, or made a version of it on the Spectrum. Okay, so let's change the window so you can see the game. Just reset. So this is Squidge, 2018 version. Collect the 6 parts of the Tree of Life and take them to the place it will grow. Collect the shields to get passage through barriers. Avoid all landscape and all enemies to avoid energy loss. Collect food to gain more energy if you want to live. And here is Squidge, a strange kind of bird creature, represented on the cover art by like a quite intimidating looking hawk, bird of prey type thing. But in-game looks quite dopey. Even more dopey in the original Spectrum version, of course. But yeah, this is basically what you do. You're flying around caverns. You automatically fall through gravity, but you can move freely in any direction. It's a bit like Hero or Hero Core that I played during my Daniel Remar and Ludosity streams, one of the early games that Remar put out on the PC there, with the black and white look to it. Yeah, so enemies constantly spawn in out of these exits. I think there were certain screens in the original Spectrum version that you just couldn't bypass, along with other programming problems that meant that the game just didn't run as it was supposed to anyway. So the Bad Game Hall of Fame article goes into great detail about this and how to fix it with poke commands, and oh, it's a real mess. When I said that the original Squidge port was a horror story, Gibbon thought I meant that I was going to talk about a creepypasta. No, not that kind of horror story. Just the regular real-life horror story of capitalism gone mad. So what are these things about? I don't know what's going on in this game. I did not reread that article on Bad Game Hall of Fame before playing this. I read it a while ago, so I was familiar with this. It slotted in nicely into a little extra feature for this homebrew stream. If I'd had more time, I would have refreshed myself more on what exactly is happening here and more about the original story. But I do, recommend just checking out that article. There's other articles about it too. It's a famously bad game, but there are mitigating reasons why it is that way, as I outlined. So I don't know how to get things. There are things. It said to get shields to progress. I've sort of run out of food to restore my health. These have got to be, these have got to do something. I don't know what though. And I haven't found any pieces of the Tree of Life, and I don't know what the yellow things are either. So it's a lot of question marks around this experience. But yeah, you have to poke the game with poke commands to get it to run at all, I believe. Oh, here we go. There, that's part of something, part of a shield, I think, which might let me progress to the left back there through that barrier. Or I might need to get both parts of a shield. Unclear. Let's try it. It killed me anyway, so we don't have enough shield, I guess. We're learning very low on energy. So yeah, this is much more faithful to what the Commodore 64 version plays like, but done on a Spectrum, which is impressive in itself. So once again, TARDIS remakes. Good job there. What's going on? I'm dead. Game over. Tough life for small birds that want eternal life, but sadly they have a very limited life expectancy in times as foul as these. Well, considering my performance there, I don't think I'm going to get much further by trying again, so let's move on to another game. Oh no, that's a terrible sound. Death. Yeah, I do recommend reading more about this game. It's a fascinating saga. The Saga of Squidge. Oh yes, and by the way, the name of that teenage coder, Jason Creighton. Or Crichton. Probably Crichton. Alright. This is actually my last one for today, so I might finish early or we might just spend a bit more time on it. What's going on with that? This one. Okay. So, I guess I'll start by, let's just go back to the top level of this. So Bubblesoft Games, I think they're based in the UK. They specialize in ZX Spectrum and Commodore 64 homebrews. They've got games based on these three characters, so choose your hero. It can be the mole, Monty Mole, a classic reused character from official games of the era. You can play as an ooze in this game. And their character Nixie has two games. So Nixie the Glade Sprite has been put out on the C64 and the Spectrum. And then the follow-up, which I'm going to be playing today, Nixie and the Seeds of Doom. And this is just kind of a platform adventure. ULA, they don't really explain what that is, but I think it's a sort of expansion format beyond what the original Spectrum was capable of, I believe. But they include an original version as well. My emulator does not support the expanded version, so I'm playing this original tape version. So that's the intro. Now let's play Nixie 2, Nixie and the Seeds of Doom. All right, an arcade game designer is the tool I use to get this working. So this is a really cool title screen, actually. I think it's very well done. And a lovely little tune in the background there too. I'll turn that up a little bit. Okay. Oh right, there's a whole spiel which I will read as it goes past. Gibbon is appreciating more good music. Yes, it's awesome. Okay, Nixie and the Seeds of Doom. ... With the Gaia Stone cleansed, which happened in the last game, the Glade Elders sent out scouts to look for the source of the corruption. Days passed, but none returned. Once again, the Elders look to you, Nixie. Search the far reaches of the forest and find that which threatens the glade. And if you can, destroy it. Credits. Oh, this is good. I didn't find these externally, so game and art by Andy Johns. AGDX. An additional code by Alan Turvey. Menu and additional code by Guy Black. AGD, The Tool, by Jonathan Caldwell. Music by Ricardo Vieira. Loading screen by Andy Green. Nixie and the Seeds. Oh, so that's the back to the start. Okay, let's go. So here we are as Nixie. Again, a single color sprite, but it's always fun what they can do with just black and white and a bit of pixel space. So we're going to ring the bell of the castle. Maybe there's a back door. Watch out for that knight. We only have limited lives here. Whoops. Okay, that's a hit. This one does have music during gameplay, and it's amazing. I really like it. Now, by the way, Nixie is Mario. If you fall too far, you will die. And dying will set you back to the start of the screen. Or a little bit earlier or whatever. A little bit earlier than you are. I'm not sure. So we'll be making some save states. We might lose all our life pretty easily. And ladders are a little bit finicky to get down. Okay. So we've got to time this one. Not like that. That actually wasn't too bad, but yeah, a fall will not only hurt you, but reset your progress. Yeah, Gibbon is loving this music. Me too. Oops. Tricky for so early. Okay, we made it. So now we'll go down here. And then we cycle back later. Oh, a health restore. That's great. That screen is the furthest I got while setting up. I don't like to play too far ahead. Can I not climb this? I can't jump high enough. And I can't climb this chain, apparently. So I guess I'll have to do something else on this screen. Maybe fall over to the right. Yeah. Whoops. Oh, the problem with the save states, I feel I need to use them because of the health system. I don't want to get a game over, but also, sadly, it interrupts that great music. That's how you do it. So I'll try not to save state if I can avoid it. Or load state, rather. Saving state for safety is probably wise. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, hopefully you can hear it okay. It looks like the levels are fine. So now I have a choice. Let's go to the right and down. Yeah, okay, cool. So Nixie doesn't have any actions other than jumping, which is fine with me. The Kempston joystick, which was a common input for Spectrum. Although Sinclair also had their own joystick. It's only got the one button, as with the Commodore 64, so you were a little limited sometimes. The Castlevania game uses up to jump, but it also uses other keys on the keyboard, so it's got a lot more space for possible actions because it's using those extra input buttons that you don't have on a keyboard, on a joystick. Words. Anyway, I should have known those platforms, the one that I fell through earlier, it's sort of more dithered, so it's sort of a bit more see-through. The more solid ones are the ones you walk on. So that should be pretty consistent. Okay. So I don't know if Nixie's going to get more abilities, but this structure seems like you have choices of where to go. I think I could have gone a different way back there, but I'm committing to this way. Okay. No! Oops. Close. Like I said, ladders are a bit finicky. That one you actually need to jump to climb on. But, wait, what was that? Maybe falling... No. Because games like Spelunker, if you fall more than your, like, body height... If you fall any distance, then you die. Actually, Haunted Halls of Wentworth on their Action 52 multi-car was like that as well. Ah! Like a really punishing fall damage mechanic. In Donkey Kong Arcade, you also die easily from falling, but not that easily. You can at least fall a little bit. But yeah, this seems to be more like a Donkey Kong style system than Spelunker. No, I want to go this way, actually. No, that's an instant death, apparently. No mercy. Yeah, so I want to go over here. So we're trying to get up into the castle. Okay. Oops. Oop. Oh, health. Great. What? Okay. Don't know what's with these portcullises that just fall out of nowhere. Yeah, so some things sort of kill you and send you back, but some just damage you. Like the little flying torch fellows damaged you. Oh, what? I think I'm being too careful with my save states. It's actually pretty merciful. Ah, what? With giving you health pickups. I think the torch was actually killing me there. On the wall, as opposed to those ghostly torch fellows. I guess I'm going this way. Yeah, well, this is new. Are you kidding? That was some Halls of Wentworth stuff right there. Just the instant death. So you can't jump on that screen, you just have to keep walking. But I need to get back to the left to get that key, but I can't do it from here because falling this far is death. But luckily we did find the back door, so... Ta-da! Oh. Okay. So I guess I just went the wrong way and I need to backtrack. What about this? Can I do this? Can't make it there. I can't believe that Nixie is so frail that she dies from that fall. That's frustrating. So I need to find the ladder that comes up from below to get to that key. Which means a heck of a lot of backtracking. Oh boy, what's the time? Well, maybe I'm just done with this game. That was cute and fun, but considering, yeah, the time we've taken, I may not have the patience for all the backtracking. But I'm glad I got through all the ones I wanted to, even if it was just a quick show off for the last few. That's what I was intending all the time anyway. Yeah, so thanks for joining me. This was fun. Good to explore this little corner of the homebrew scene. There's a lot of ZX Spectrum homebrews out there. Some of them being sold for physical release, you know. A lot of them you can find on itch.io. Demakes, original games. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff from you know, indie developers. So, and yeah, playable on emulator, or if you have the know-how on your real Spectrum hardware. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have any other notes, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching. This has been a lot of fun. I think I'm done with homebrews for now. This has been a really enjoyable exploration of that genre, though. Yeah. Since that chatter in the C64 stream was talking about the library of the system, I think next time I'll play some of the C64 games that I've had on my list for a while, and that ought to be a bit of fun. Yes. But until then, stay safe, have a nice time, and I'll see you again. Thanks for watching. And I'll have links to where you can download all of these games for free in the description of the YouTube archive. Okay. See you later.